What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Building Code. Zach Watovich here.
Charley Burbissel here.
I just keep mixing up my intro.
Keeps me on my toes.
That's right. I got a lot of feedback at BTU last night that people like it. No,
really? I got some feedback today from Danielle, actually, that someone at BTU today is a huge fan of the podcast.
That's who I talked to last night.
Oh, well, she said that they told her that they like me. They're not like me, but they said, I feel like I would relate more with Charley than I would Zach.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's really
I just
honest
remembered
feedback.
that.
That's not how he phrased it to me, but I appreciate that. All right.
I'm so glad I remember that here so we could record the moment.
That's right. Let's stay on script today, Charley.
Okay.
Because
we have some kind of big wig, fancy schmancy bank people coming in to talk to us a little bit more about lending, financing options, things that we could present to homeowners to ease the burden of a financial project a bit. So I will not waste any time. Let's get them in here. What do you say, Zach?
Let's do it. And it's super awkward because this whole time they've been sitting to our left. So we got Landon and Andrew. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Hey. The opposite of fancy schmancy.
No, we were.
We keep it casual.
I was kind of hoping it would pan, and it's like you're in like tuxedos.
No suits.
No, not anywhere at Nelnet.
We're anti-suit.
I love that. A bank without
keep it
suits?
casual. That's right.
Where do I sign up?
A bank for the people.
I love it. A bank for the people. All right. Well, we didn't really get into the intro a little bit, and I'm already kind of touching the mic because I noticed in my last episode I'm going to try and not avoid playing with the mic today. I'm self-conscious and the feedback, the whole thing. Tell us a little bit about Nelnet.
Yeah. So Nelnet Bank, it's a member FDIC bank. We're located out of Draper, Utah. Deep roots in student loans. So if anybody's ever heard of Nelnet, likely from our parent company, Nelnet Inc., who's out of Lincoln, so right down the street from you guys. A lot of different products, private student loans, student loan refi. But a few years back, they reached out and wanted to start some home improvement lending, which is my background and Andrew's background. And that's why we're here today.
I love it. I love it. So you made the trip from Utah.
That's right. We consider Omaha and Lincoln our second home.
Yeah.
So we love it out here.
I love it. Well, thanks for coming in. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for Charley and I to kind of get in and see our guests in person. You know, makes the dynamic a little bit different. A little bit different, like when we talk about you, with like pretending you're not here. You know,
the headquarters of Buildertrend really just has a nice feel to it.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys have been here a few different times inside Buildertrend HQ.
Been here a lot. A lot of putting greens.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what when I tour for BTU, that's what I point out. If you can find the putting greens, it's the easiest search find game you can because you can't really miss them. But yeah, if you're ever in Omaha, Nebraska, come check out our putting greens. Andrew, Landon, why are you here today?
You know, we recently launched a new product with Buildertrend, the Buildertrend Financing Powered by Nelnet Bank product, and we've got a lot of traction, and so we're out here to talk about that a little bit more and how we can benefit contractors and their customers.
I love it. I love it. Well, let's dive a little deeper in there. Like specifically, what is the significance of us offering these types of things for our customers and our homeowners?
I think if we start on the homeowner side, we're really wanting to empower the customer to get the project of their dreams done, right? Oftentimes, customers have the golden sink and the marble countertop vision, maybe don't have the budget for it, or maybe just drastically underestimated the project cost. And we want to allow them to still get the work done of their dreams, even if they can't afford it at this moment, or just feel more comfortable spreading out payments over time.
Yeah. Financing is really about convenience. It's about making it easy for a customer to choose to do business with you. And so when you bring that to the table with the customer, they're more likely to say yes to a bigger project, and say yes quickly. So that's what financing is all about.
I think people will notice almost every industry out there is offering financing. It's whether you're at a furniture store, an electronics store, pretty much anybody out there, they're offering financing because it enables customers. It helps them get the project done, get them make decisions a little bit faster. And home improvement remodeling is no different than that.
That's awesome. And it's not on the list of approved questions here, so we may have to cut this. But I love when we have partners on the podcast, and I think it's really fascinating. I know our listeners do too, just to hear kind of the origin story of how worlds collide. So you guys had mentioned you'd been in the Buildertrend HQ a ton of times, you consider Nebraska your second home. What is kind of the process of developing something like this look like with a partner? How did it come to be, and kind of how did we get to where we're at today?
As Andrew always says, the stars aligned for this project. When I first got brought on, we were doing a lot of surveys with contractors on what they need. There's a lot of banks in this industry, and somehow there's some good, some bad out there, and there wasn't one size fits all for contractors. And so we did a lot of surveys to see what they like in a lender, what they need in a lender, And at the same time, Buildertrend was doing the same thing. And luckily, both being Nebraska companies, Nelnet Inc. and Buildertrend, there's a lot of relationships there. And that's how we got connected. And I remember the initial meeting scoping out the relationship. Both of you, I think, were in there a couple years ago.
And our again, for our listeners, real jobs.
Yeah, they didn't have two podcast hosts.
Yeah, but imagine in a meeting about financing, we're just like podcasting on the side. That's actually what it felt
live
like.
play-by-play.
Yeah.
But that's where we went and scoped it out. Like, the funny thing is that the answers and the needs of the contractors met what we both wanted to build. And that's when we decided, let's do this. Let's create the best program we can out there. And Buildertrend has the relationships, and they're dedicated into providing the best services for contractors, as well as Nelnet Bank. And that's kind of how it came to fruition. And it's been a couple years in the making, a lot of testing, a lot of Q&A with contractors. Is this working? And that's why we're so excited to finally launch this product and get some traction.
So what were some of the specific challenges and pain points that you guys were hoping to address with the experience? We had this workshop we talked about. What were the things that alignment looked like, and what are we hoping to kind of get out of this with this program?
Quite a few different pain points with the contractors when it came to financing. They want to focus on what they do best. They don't want to be bankers. If it's going to be difficult for them, they're not going to use it. So simplicity was our key. Quite a few pain points when it came to funding schedules, larger loan amounts as well. Little things like that other banks weren't providing for kitchen and bath and other remodeling type contractors. And that's what we definitely wanted to address in this program.
Yeah, when I think about pain points or reasons to offer financing, some contractors have no experience with financing. That's fine. Financing is a great tool. And if you have no experience, don't be afraid of stepping into something like this, because it helps with all sorts of pain points with customers. How often do they underestimate how much a project's going to cost? Right? Like we ask contractors that all the time, and the answer is always like all the time.
All of them.
Right?
Every single one.
Yeah. And financial friction during the entire sales process. How often is your customer hesitating during the sale? How often are they having to phase their project? How often are they having to trim features off their project that they really want, but they just can't quite get it to fit into the budget? Financing is all about convenience, and it's the way that you conquer a lot of these objections.
Makes a lot of sense. I mean, are we able to kind of get into some of the terms and the things that Buildertrend and Nelnet are bringing into through our solution?
Yeah, we're happy to go over all the kind of the benefits and the features.
For sure.
There's quite a few different things that set us apart, and one of them is flexible funding for the contractor. We want them to treat it like a cash project. We're not going to tell them when you can take funds, how you take funds. It's keep it flexible. We don't want them to discourage them to want to use the financing, right? That we mentioned the larger loan amounts. We'll go all the way up to $150,000 on these loans, as long as the customer qualifies for that.
Terms and conditions may apply.
Terms and conditions on approved credit.
Approved bank statement. FDIC member did $250,000.
But with a lot of these jobs, these are large kitchen and bath remodels.
Right.
And the customer doesn't have to finance the whole project. But to Andrew's point, and he said it best, they underestimate the project cost, whether that be by $5,000 or $50,000. And so we want to enable them to really get the work done of their dreams. And I think one of the main benefits as well of solving friction is keeping everything in the Buildertrend app. And that's where it's so important. Contractors don't want to bounce around to different apps to request funds here or to have customers apply there. We keep it in Buildertrend. Great platform, so why not integrate it with you guys, which is what we did.
You don't have to be a banker to offer financing.
Exactly.
Right. Keep it simple. Give your customers some extra ways to get their project done, and we'll handle the banking for you.
One of the fun features that we have is to Andrew's point, we make it easy. We'll provide contractors with links for their website, links for the Buildertrend proposals. They can just integrate there. So if the customer sees the price and they have that deer in the headlights look right below that, they can see some financing terms. They can actually click on the link and get their offers with no hard credit check. We'll provide flyers that contractors can print out in their put in their showrooms. They can put it in a leave behind packet with a QR code. The customer can just scan it, takes them right into the application. So all the contractor has to do is set that up with their customer success rep, and we'll take it from there.
Gosh, this is awesome. Like, as you guys alluded to, first meeting Zach and I was in 2 years ago, and then I don't think I've been in another one since then.
Yeah,
so
we cut them out.
Yeah,
It just wasn't bringing value.
no value. But hearing you guys explain a lot of the original hypothesis around this from 2 years ago coming to fruition is really, really cool to see. I mean, this seems like, I use this term lightly, but a hashtag game changer, right?
Absolutely. We tested this with quite a few different contractors. You know, we had multiple phases, iterations where we're like, okay, what's working, what's not. We really want to listen to the contractor, customize it specifically for them, rather than what's always in the best interest of the bank, as you see a lot out in the industry.
And we're certainly not done.
No.
This is going to keep iterating and getting better and better for contractors, you know, as long as the need is there.
So why would someone go with this option through Buildertrend and Nelnet compared to the others in the market? Because there are other players in the space that offer this in terms of the pricing, the interest rates, you know, obviously the all-in-one from the Buildertrend side. What's your guys' perspective on, you know, why using this one over others?
First thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is integrated within Buildertrend. These contractors are already on the app. They can, you know, attach it to their proposals, request funds through the invoice feature. And on top of that, simplicity. Simplicity is key. You cannot make it difficult and expect contractors to want to offer it. And that was our goal from day one. Let's keep it simple.
You're not going to get a really complicated product where you have to analyze things and figure out what your customers are going to want. One simple cost for the contractor. It's really easy for a customer or a contractor to understand and implement into their business processes.
I think that's really important as someone who's worked with customers at Buildertrend quite a bit, even if they have, there's kind of two types, right? Like if they don't have processes, if it's easy to onboard into it, it can kind of create them. And then the other alternative is a lot of times with customers, they already have processes. And so if they see this big adoption curve where they have to do reconstruction on their sales talk track, or they've got to be able to learn a new entire function of Buildertrend, that's where the resistance is. And it's really exciting to hear that we should be able to cater to both, whether you're new to Buildertrend or, you know, someone who's been with us for 10 years. Ideally, it's part of your workflow and it's just kind of an additional experience that your homeowners will have an option for. Are you guys also including this on all of our features that have financial impact? So, you know, sales proposals, change orders, estimates, or is this limited to kind of one part of the program currently, or what kind of is the use case from a Buildertrend functionality side?
When you think about the effectivity of financing, if you're just waiting to the very end of the sales appointment to say, and once you get that initial gut check from the customer, hey, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to swing this. This is a little outside of my budget. If you wait till the very end to offer financing to your customer, you're going to lose a lot of the power of it, because a lot of the power of financing is that it impacts your customer's psychology. They dream bigger. They think that they can get the project that they really want and not have to phase it or trim down the project or anything like that. So we enable the contractor with a lot of different resources to be able to offer financing. We provide resources to be able to implement this into your proposal templates, provide resources to implement it into your website, provide resources to implement this into your email campaigns and lead generation activities, a number of different resources throughout the sales process, all the way back to the, you know, when you very first get the lead. You can start making sure that your customer is a qualified customer and not a tire kicker, right?
And we want the customers to dream big, right? If the customer knows they have a year of no interest to pay this off, or a low monthly payment loan that fits their budget, they will dream big. And if we can enable the contractor to offer that early on, that's where they're going to find a lot of success. And, you know, many times contractors are in the home, customers are saying, well, take a look at my hallway bathroom while you're here instead of just the kitchen, or let's look at some flooring, let's look at some lighting. If we can enable them early on by providing the contractor with those materials, providing the contractor with those resources, that's where they're going to see great increase in job size and customer satisfaction as well.
Right. I mean, it happens all the time. Like they offer financing to a customer. The customer says, okay, yeah, I'll take the financing. They apply and get approved. Maybe it was for a $15,000 loan. And like a week or two later, we'll get a message back from the contractor. Hey, they now want a $35,000 project because they added this and X, Y, and Z features to the project. It happens all the time. And that's one of the benefits of financing, is it helps you to get those bigger projects and get your customers to purchase something more profitable for your company.
And we allow the customer to apply for a higher amount in case change orders or upgrades come up. And obviously, if they don't need all the funds, they don't have to use them. But it's good for the customer to know. And we ask that same thing to contractors. How often are change orders coming up? And customers can be indecisive up until the very end. So we want to make sure they have the funds available.
Well, and I think this is a common problem for construction businesses. They've had to learn the hard way, which is if they're letting their customers' imagination run wild and there aren't any options of how to actually provide that funding, a lot of contractors will do it and then at the end of the job roll it into the last invoice, but they're actually fronting the money. And that's how you run into cash flow issues, surprises, or worst case, which I've seen, is disagreements about what we agreed upon and the scope of the contract. And now you're in a dispute over payment and you're more of a collections agency, whereas a financing option actually eliminates all that and makes it so you can have secure, you're going to get your money, they're going to get their work, and the project's going to go a lot smoother at the end of it.
Contractors don't need additional risk.
Right.
They don't need to become a bank, float the money, like you said, become a collections agency. We want simplicity. The bank, when we approve a customer, that they have the funds available at that point.
I was talking to a kitchen and bath outfit just yesterday and kind of talked about that exact same thing you just described.
Yeah.
It's like we're spending so much time on redesigns. Like if I just save the time on the redesigns, that alone covers the cost of associated with the program.
Right.
Like it's worth it for us.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really interesting when I talk to customers. I'm notoriously, Charlie and I joke about this on the building code. We're not contractors, we're not experts in construction, but we learn from our customers. And I look at things like as a consumer, I look for people that offer financing because I know it gives me the option. So when you're positioning yourself in the market as much as anything too, it also levels up your experience that you can provide your customers. And it probably will bring more people through the website channels, through these other, touch points with your customers, which also drives easier business rather than having to wade through like, oh, I got to figure out how this person's going to pay for this project. Are they going to do it? Are they not? It's like you already have the way to actually, as you said, reduce friction, but kind of bring better quality leads too, I think.
There's no warmer lead than someone who's already been approved for $100,000.
Right.
And it's specifically tied to that contractor. It's not like a home equity line of credit where they can get approved and go use it with, chucking a truck down the street who's going to be 30% less, maybe not do as good of a job. But these are tied to the contractor. We fund the contractor directly with the customer's approval. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to financing that it's only for customers who can't afford the job, which is not true.
If I'm buying something, I almost always look for financing.
I'm a sucker
if
for
it's
it.
and interest rates are low, and I can float it, it's worth it.
Laptops, I've done it. My washer and dryer, $1,500. Give me 12 months to pay that off. Heck yeah.
Freaking Amazon.
Yeah.
And their 0% 12-month interest
I'll tell you
on
what,
everything.
I say that to
I'm gonna get a cease and
contractors.
desist for that one.
Yeah.
Amazon, you can get a $120 pair of shoes and they'll say split it into 4 payments when you go to checkout.
Right.
It's not just for customers who can't afford the job.
Right.
And that's whether it's HVAC, whether it's windows or emergency type jobs, it's not just needed for those. It's a convenience for customers who maybe are getting a kitchen remodel. Not an emergency job, but why not provide the convenience? And that's what makes them want to work with you.
In Salt Lake, I was driving just the other day and, I saw a billboard for Mercedes-Benz offering 0% for 3 years. But that's a car for rich people, right? They've got the money. Sometimes I hear from contractors like, all my customers pay cash. Well, that's the only option you provide them. Of course, they just pay with cash. And sometimes what looks like cash to you could be financing in the background. You could have got that home equity line of credit, and it's a check to you, sure, but they were funded via a loan. So, yeah, it is a convenience factor, and don't think that it's just for somebody who needs it, who can't afford your project. A lot of times it's just convenience. I personally think about myself. If I had saved up $60,000 for a kitchen remodel and the contractor came back and even said it's $60,000, that's still going to be uncomfortable for me to spend all that money and deplete myself out. The financing just helps you have a little more convenience with it.
Keep your nest egg, right, without having to burn it all in one shot. And I think, I think contractors assume their consumers aren't like thinking that way at times. The really savvy ones that I've talked with have that perspective, but it is an education thing. We talked about that a lot. It's like we're hoping people understand that these processes are the norm and that we're going to offer this solution. I'm curious, do you have any success stories that we've seen through the Buildertrend solution with Nelnet so far?
Yeah, even the contractors that we're piloting this program with would reach out and thank us. We had one that he was the 4th bid on a project. He was the most expensive. He offered financing and won the job.
Wow.
And we get contractors saying thank you, or I upsold this job because of the financing. And happens all the time. And customers are going to get multiple bids. So what is the contractor going to do to set themselves apart?
Yeah, what I love about this, just as a kind of an overarching theme, more on the Buildertrend specific side of things, but we have made a commitment over the past year or so to focusing on the homeowner part of our product. We've always considered the GCs, the remodelers, our customers, the people that are paying us. We've never really spent a ton of time thinking about what are their customer needs. And obviously, if you improve that relationship, then they improve and then we improve. So like that example that you gave right there is like a perfect example of why fostering that relationship, providing them better options, providing a better homeowner experience is going to ultimately benefit the remodeler or GC even more so. So I think it's a cool kind of shift from a Buildertrend perspective as well. And this is like a great first step with great partners and like walking down that avenue.
We pride ourselves on our customer service. We know that we are a reflection of the contractor. We want the best experience for the homeowner, because if they're mad at us, we don't want the contractor to be like, who am I sending my customers to?
Right.
So we're going to provide the best experience possible because we are an arm of the contractor, essentially. We are the funds that they are bringing to the project.
Love it. Well, we're kind of up against the clock here. Appreciate you fellas spending some time talking about this with us. If people wanted to learn more about these options, what would be the best way for them to learn more and even get started?
Yeah, we have a financing specific rep at Buildertrend named Keith Botkin, but I think any contractor can reach out to their customer success rep, let them know they're interested in the homeowner financing program, and they'll get them over to Keith and that team. And very simple sign up process. We can get you signed up in a day, and then we'll do a quick training on the program, go over how to offer it, what are the benefits, and they're on their way. They're good to go. Customers can officially apply at that point.
Just that simple.
Yep.
Love it. Well, thank you, Landon, Andrew, for your time today. It's great catching up. Feels like the reunion.
Wow. And Charlie, you still owe me some hats. You have a great hat game, and I think I asked you for hats multiple times. And I'm still waiting.
Wow.
Well, we could probably hook you up with some building code hats as a gesture of apology and appreciation for coming all the way out to Omaha, Nebraska.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we're excited to see the results, and we'll have to talk about it in a different episode. See, in a year from now, who knows where it'll be.
Sounds good. We appreciate it, guys.
All right.
Yep. Thanks for the time, and thank you for listening, everyone out there. As always, remember to like, review, subscribe. 1, 2, 3, and have a great day. Most importantly, I'm Charlie Burtwhistle,
And I'm Zach Witovich.
See ya. Thanks for watching the video. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for exclusive content brought to you by Buildertrend.